All right, hey, Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Hakodash, with the honors to my apostles, the great millstone, with peace and salutation to the hopeful members of the elect, and the Bacharim of the house of David that's been preordained, predestined to get delivered in these last times, and to be the ruling, governing body of the nation, Yasha'Allah. And I want to go into a lesson on the Motb, all right, which is the RFID chip. So this is like a Motb update. This is from Neuralink, all right, it's on X, all right. Elon Musk, he posted it because this is his company, obviously, Neuralink. And, you know, the Lord is definitely using Elon Musk for prophecy, okay. For the Motb, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. And not just that, but also what in the war in heaven, as you know, as it says in the book of Revelation, okay, I believe the 12th chapter. You know, Elon Musk has his SpaceX, and remember, Trump added the 6th branch, the Space Force, and they're definitely going to use Elon Musk technology. Okay, he's making robots, AI robots. Okay, so the Lord is definitely using that individual. Okay. So it says, this is from Neuralink, it says the dura is the brain's armor, a membrane so tough that a surgeon normally cuts through it with a scalpel. For the first time in our clinical trials, we inserted the electrode threads of our implants straight through the dura and into the cortex, keeping the dura intact. You see? And this is like part of this man's miracles, because the people, I can see like the first wave of people, which it's already happening, patients are getting chips implanted into their brain, and these people have, certain type of disabilities, all right? They have certain type of disabilities. They can't walk. You know, they might be disabled. Okay. So when they get this chip implanted in their brain, now they can do things that they couldn't normally do. All right. They might be attached to an exoskeleton, so they may that's how they're able to walk. All right. But you see videos of them moving a mouse with their mind. Okay. They were testing out monkeys, and the monkey had a brain implant, a chip, and he was playing games and doing everything from his brain, doing everything from his mind, just by thought. So I'm gonna play this video, okay, and then get some scriptures.
This is a brain, and this is a model of the skull, and that layer in between is the dura. From day one, we've been working towards making our surgery faster and less invasive. Preserving the dura, instead of removing it, is a massive leap in that direction.
In May of 2026, as part of our ongoing clinical trials, we performed the very first transdural Neuralink surgery alongside Dr. Lozano at UHN in Toronto, Canada. It's the most cutting-edge version of this surgery that we've yet performed.
The dura is the outermost layer of the brain. It's right beneath the skull, and it's this tough, leather-like protective material that surrounds the brain.
The standard Neuralink surgery thus far has involved opening the dura and removing a portion of that lining so that we can see the brain directly and insert electrodes into its surface. This new version of the surgery skips that step entirely, and our robotic insertion device is able to insert electrode threads directly through the dura into the brain itself.
This is an important step because it makes the surgery safer, less invasive, faster.
So you see, this is skyrocketing the progress of Neuralink even more. All right, now they're able to bypass that instead of just cutting out the door and then implanting it. Or now they can just simply implant the let's go back to what he said. All right, so I can get it correct.
Insert electrodes into its surface. This new version of the surgery skips that step entirely, and our robotic insertion device is able to insert electrode threads directly through the dura.
So it inserts electrode threads through the dura instead of taking it out, all right, cutting it, taking it out. Okay, They can just insert those electrode threads through it, okay, and then placing the chip in.
Into the brain itself.
This is an important step because it makes the surgery safer, less invasive, faster, and
All right, and this is advancing the progress of Neuralink. All right, so now it can totally be just approved, which is already approved by the FDA, but now it can just totally be approved and accepted by the masses of the people. You know, now it's safe. It's safer. All right, you can be able to walk, and whatever disability you have, we can cure it through our technology. This is Esau Edom. This is how he's gonna incite the people. Okay, this is how he's going to win over the people, I should say. All right.
essentially allows us to scale the operation to a greater population.
The primary engineering challenges have been how do you insert threads through the dura mechanically, and then how do you see through the dura such that we can insert threads while avoiding vasculature. The dura is a very tough, leathery layer. Our original needle design was not able to reliably penetrate it. One of the things we did was increase the diameter of our needle just slightly to be able to put our electrodes through the dura. To get the robot ready to insert through dura, we had to develop an entirely new testing pipeline, most important of which was having a way to simulate the human dura properties on benchtop. To do that, we had to develop a synthetic dural membrane where we would characterize the thickness of the dura and the puncture force. Once we had these synthetic benchtop proxies, we would run hundreds of tests where we're inserting electrodes into the dura. What I'm showing here is about how much brain is exposed during our procedure, which is about the size of a quarter. And this is what the surgeon would typically see. The difference when the dura is still there and we don't cut it is the surgeon would see something like this. The obvious thing here is you can't see anything. The robot team had to develop a ton of new optics to be able to see the blood vessels and avoid them while inserting the threads.
The moment we leave the dura intact, it actually blocks the vision of two things. One, blood vessels, and two, the distance to the cortical surface. To overcome the first challenge, the blocked vision of the blood vessels, we use ICG video angiography. ICG is the dye that can be injected through vein, and then use infrared light to see the blood vessels glowing right through the dura, so the robot could steer threads safely around them. Second, to know how deep, we used an optical system called optical coherence tomography to determine the distance of the cortical surface from the dural surface. This is the OCT portion of the robot. So you see the laser, optics, and the robot head module here. So the laser light goes through this optics and then delivered to the robot head through this fiber. The light coming back from the brain is coupled into this lens and then coupled into this fiber. So the light is delivered through this fiber optics again and then processed and then visualized as a 3D volume of the brain tomography. This is the brain proxy that we used to test our OCT system. So it has multiple layers of membrane that mimics the human brain anatomy and the brain motion. On the screen, what you're seeing is thin dural layer and SAS, subarachnoid space under the dura, and then the cortex. So as you see here, the distance from the dural surface to the cortex is actively changing in the live human. OCT allows us to measure the distance from the top of the dura to the cortex with high accuracy, so we can insert our threads into the cortex with high precision.
Part of the mission in helping as many people as possible is being able to do as many surgeries as possible. And one way to do as many surgeries
See that? I'm gonna go back. Watch. Pay attention. See how that guy was able to move the robotic arm with his mind?
Precision.
Look,
part of the mission in helping as
that
many
part, he's able to move the mouse key or the mouse, the mouse. All right, with his mind.
people as possible is being able to do as many surgeries as possible.
See?
And
Moving that robotic mechanical arm.
one way to do as many surgeries as possible is having robots do the procedure with clinical supervision. The step prior to automating surgery and bringing in robotics is thinking about what steps can you delete such that you don't even need a robot to do it. The transdural procedure was our way of deleting the directomy step completely to make the surgery faster, simpler, safer, to be able to expand what's possible and to help even more people with unmet medical needs.
That was it. Let me go on their page actually. Let me just see. Salaki, hold on 1 second. Let's check out their page. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Our goal is to restore abilities that were thought to be lost forever due to injury, accident, or disease. See how Audrey, who is paralyzed due to spinal cord injury, using her brain-computer interface chip to play video games with her mind. You see, these are the miracles that this man's going to be able to perform, as it says
After the accident.
All right.
One of the most important parts of the robot is the needle. It's responsible for
It says.
grabbing every.
It says Neuralink devices are investigational and not FDA approved. This I thought it was. So Salaki on that, because I believe I did see, one company that does the same thing. That does brain implant chips. It was FDA approved. Maybe that was Synchron. That's another one. This video features voluntary clinical trial participants sharing their personal experiences, which may not reflect all participants or future outcomes. Okay.
Every single thread and inserting it to the intended depth that we want into the brain. To the naked eye, these may look like ordinary needles, but they're really not.
I'm just going through the page, okay?
The thing that has kept me around Neuralink for a long.
But see, this is this man's technology.
The convoy team is the team at Neuralink that's working on assistive.
We are working to restore mobility that was lost due to disease or spinal cord injury by allowing participants to control robotic arms with their thoughts. And see, soon, when everything collapses, when these elites move into their next step, which is to chip the masses, soon everyone is going to be forced to take that chip. To be able to live within their new society, you have to have that chip, okay? And it's going to say it. Revelation 13, verse 16. And it says, actually, I'm going to start at 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right, the image of the beast, this man's, his whole New World Order. All right, you see, way of life that he wants to introduce. Okay, and if you're not, if you don't bow down, you're gonna be, it's like I just said, you're gonna be killed. You're gonna be, unalived. All right. It says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads. A mark goes into the word charagma in the Greek. All right, the chip. And then the latter root words of that is charax, the needle, and then graphos, data, information, okay? And that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? So you won't be able to ultimately live within the society if you don't take that chip, okay? But the Lord's going to provide a way for his elect, all right? You see? But again, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So again, this man, when he finally moves to his next step, he's going to force that chip, and whoever, doesn't get down with his program is going to be killed, all right? They're going to be put out of society, okay? And we kind of seen because he always does these trial runs, with COVID, the lockdowns, you got to get the vaccine, all right? You got to get that vax in order to work, travel at one point. Now it's crazy because now, people who didn't take it, they got, they returned back into their jobs, all right? You see? But all that was like a trial run. But the image of this man, the image of the beast is this man's New World Order, this man's way of life that he wants to introduce, all right, what he believes, you see? All right? And part of his New World Order is what? That chip, to enslave the masses, you see? These international banking families, they want to bring a new way of living, a new society. They want to collapse this place and bring in a new way, all right? Which will just be total control. And we're practically, it's like literally around the corner, AI, their technology is at an all-time high because ultimately the Most High gave them that technology, the AI, all right, chat GPT, you see, and you already know they're using like high-level AI, all right. The stuff we use, chat, that ain't nothing. So these people have secure, advanced AI, But this man's technology, all right, it's at an all-time high. You see, surveillance, direct energy weapon, Raytheon, satellites, that can cause fires and earthquakes. Yeah, HARP, manipulate the weather. Okay, so like we're right there. Like this man, his technology is at an all-time high. Okay, you see, and he's gonna cause a worldwide collapse and come down. Like it says in Revelation 12. Actually, it was the next scripture before I could have went back, but Revelation 12 verse 12, and it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." Right? He hath but a short time, so he's gonna come down with great wrath, and it's gonna be a lot of people dying. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of people dying, and that's why we're gonna need divine intervention, because this man's technology, you have to admit, it's advanced, it's amazing, if you will, on the left hand side. All right, like literally, this man can send down direct energy and cause earthquakes, not just fires. I just found that out, okay, because I knew about the HARP, but I looked up Raytheon, direct energy weapon, okay, which I knew about the direct energy weapon, but I thought it just caused fires, but I didn't know it can cause earthquakes as well. All right, so this man's technology is like at an all-time high. He has his robots, his AI robots, Terminators, really. The Terminator, like one of the elders said, the elder from LA, he said Terminator was a documentary. All right. This man, he has this technology, and he's gonna unleash it. Okay, so we're gonna, the men of the Lord, the Lord's prophets, they're gonna need divine intervention, and the Lord's gonna protect us. You gotta just believe that. All right, but we here. It's like right around the corner. It's like literally any day. You just seen what happened in Venezuela. All right. Something can just pop off, a false flag, something, man, EMP attack, all right, and the world can change just like that, and then the devil's just gonna Esau Edom, the international banking family is gonna just move in with the next step, because the whole goal ultimately is what, to chip the masses. They want to have an economic collapse, get rid of the paper money, all right. Everything's ultimately digital now. You pay everything with your phone, all right. So it's here, man. It's here. All right. So I don't want to make this too long. All right. Hopefully this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechah HaKodash, and the honor, some other apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutation to all for members of the elect. Shalom.